Hi everybody, and welcome back. Today I am with Hemma Mason. Now, Hemma is a commercial photographer. Now, as you probably remember, I did interview Claire Smith not so long ago about just normal photography, having your profile done, the importance of your profile. And one of the things that we touched upon was the eye tracking studies and how images can really draw the eye and also help convert. Now, commercial photography, I think, is probably more important. Even if you're doing photos of each of your employees, that group photo or capturing people in a way that in a working environment or with a client, that type of photography tells a story. And what I love about commercial photography is I think the story that images can tell about a company without giving too much away, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
So it invokes, and it's about invoking an emotion.
It's all about emotion.
It is.
It's about connecting. It's about connecting who you are, what you do, what your essence is, with your client and the clients, your potential clients and your current clients. Because if you can connect with them, if you can grab their attention and make that connection even before they pick up the phone, they already feel they know you. They feel that they can trust you. They feel they want to work with you, and that gives you more of an edge, because they want to know more. It's right in the place where they need to know more information. They want to talk to you. They want to understand more about what you do, and it's really important.
So, images. The thing is, on your website, okay, there's one thing that you don't do, and I might have already said this. Don't have a stock image. Okay, please get rid of stock images, because they don't represent your business and they don't do anything. And also, if your web designer has built you a pretty little website with a great big, whopping great big image at the very front page at the top, bring it down to a little image if you're going to have an image, or have an image at the side which represents something about your business. It has to represent your business, and if you can stick a headline on the image to represent what that image is about, and then even link it to another page which gives people more information regarding that image. So say you're the business owner, have your image, if you've got it on your home page, that then links to your about page.
That makes sense. And people know stock photography. Anybody, if you ask anybody, a layman who has no clue, they know what is a stock photo as opposed to something that is personalised and bespoke.
I'm currently reviewing a website at the moment, and they've got that stock image of somebody holding a little baby tree.
Yes.
Which is quite a religious thing, but they're an accountancy, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
But if that's what they wanted, if that's the type of image they wanted, it would change everything tenfold if they had a photographer take a similar image, something similar but not exactly the same, that actually incorporated their own branding.
Yes.
So if they had the same one, but then they had, say, either a business card or, not in the hands, something slightly different, your photographer will be able to give you a lot of ideas in that sort of thing, but then had their own branding that it's not photoshopped in. It will be unique, and actually that speaks to the fact that you're a serious business, that you're actually willing to go out and have your own photography done, that's bespoke to you, that shows who you are, rather than just grabbing it off the internet, because people know, you can tell.
You can definitely tell. So please stop that. Now, get rid of those images. Replace it with video. We've talked about video. And the other thing with videos, you can put a video together that tells a story with just images.
Yes, video slideshows, they work really well. And it's part of one of the things that a lot of my clients really like, and you only need 30 seconds of a handful of images over some really good music, with your logo, and just to tell that story of whether it's about the company, whether it's about the product, whether it's about how it all comes together.
The journey. So a story. So a journey. So I mean, I for my wedding, I put my own slideshow together.
Nice.
And I have to admit, when I look at it, I'm smiling throughout all of it because I'm reliving that moment, and it's just a beautiful day for me, if you know what I mean. And it just brings it all back now. And I think for other people watching it as well, because I've watched other people's videos, and you can just see, you can just feel it and see it and imagine the day and of how it was like and the feelings that come from it.
And the thing about the images and the video and all of it, it's about marketing your business and connecting with your client. It's all about that. People seem to forget. And you've got to think about where you want to be in your business, where the direction you want to go in, and how you want to connect with your clients. It's all the marketing mediums we have today, social media, websites, direct mail, there's so many. All these things will help people to connect with you and tell your story, show your product, show who you are. And a lot of businesses don't think they need it, especially smaller businesses don't think they need commercial, pure, professional photography. Actually, they need it more than the bigger companies, because the bigger companies already understand the value, and they already understand that actually it's going to help drive their business forward, and smaller businesses need that just as much.
So you've helped loads of businesses, loads, big and small.
Yes.
When we spoke previously, you talked about a gentleman who was renting his house out.
Yes.
And I was absolutely amazed at this. And we're going to touch upon, and we talked about value just now or something. It's very easy as a small business to look at the expense.
Yes.
But what you've got to do as a business owner is you've got to look at the long-term value of something. So if you've got a customer on the back of some photography that was done, and it drew in and it converted and it drew somebody in, what's the total value of that one client over a lifetime?
Exactly.
And what it should pay for itself.
Yeah, and how, that's just one client. When you have your images, you have your images. So once you have your images, how many clients are you going to have in 3 months, 6 months, off the back of that one image? And that's when you need to start calculating value, because there is this misconception that professional photography is too expensive and people don't need it. Well, actually, it's not expensive when you consider what the expertise that person brings to the table.
Absolutely, because what you do, which I thought was amazing, Hemma doesn't just go in and just take the photos as they are. She looks at it and then goes, no, right, I'm going to put this here, that there, and she dresses it
completely.
It takes her so long. She's an idiot for doing it, but do you know what? The results are amazing, and that's why people love you.
I say this over and over again. It is far better to have 20 fabulous images than it is to have 100 images where you look at it and you think, oh, I wish that was different, oh, I wish I'd moved it out of the way, that looks a bit scruffy. It's so detailed. Everything is about detail. I have one client who, now she uses me on a regular basis. I do at least a couple of jobs a month now, and she does these amazing, marquee is not the word to use for it, she's called the Arabian Tent Company, and their marquees are gorgeous. I mean, plush, carpets, ornaments, drapery, carpets on the walls, everything. It's about luxury. And they do any kind of event, and a lot of weddings and things like that. And she doesn't even brief me anymore. She literally just says, I need you here in this time, and that's all that she needs.
And I'll leave the rest to you.
And leave the rest to me.
Because you know what you're doing.
Exactly, and the thing is, I will, if I'm on site for 2 to 3 hours, actually half of my time is actually spent styling, because it's let's get everything in the right place, and I'll stand and I'll look and I'll watch. And that's not just for interior photography. It applies to lifestyle photography, for, like you said, for people working. And if you just take that little bit of time to look at the overall picture, the fact that normally your desk is messy is irrelevant. If we tidy up and make it just look, it doesn't need to be something it's not, but at the same time, just make it look fabulous. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes stopping and thinking about what you want the end result to be and what you want those images to do.
Clarity.
Oh,
we talked about clarity.
The first thing I say to anybody I work with, and it's I will deliver photography. That's the end aim. But the first question has to be, what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
What are you trying to achieve with the images?
Yeah.
Because most people who come to me say, oh, I need a couple of photos for my website. Okay, that's what
Where
you
are the
think
photos
you
on
need.
your website going to
Let's
go?
start
Which
again.
particular page?
Yeah.
What it is you want to say on that page?
Exactly. What do you want to do with them? Is it just for your website? You know, how are you trying to connect with the client? What emotion do you want them to feel when you see the images? Because that's going to affect how I take the photographs. What kind of do you want them to? Do you want a professional feeling to come across, or professional and fun, or professional? You've got to think about the big picture. But it's fully understandable that people don't necessarily know that or how to do that for their business.
Yeah.
But that's my job. And I've had a client that I'll be working with in a couple of months, who I'm sort of guiding through a process at the moment. And we had a conversation. He said, I'm getting really stressed out about this in the moment. I need to put this list together for you for the products that we want to go through. And I went, where we want them on the site. And I went, stop. All I need is the list. You are stressing yourself out on things that you don't have to. That's my domain. That's what I do. That's my expertise. I will walk you through that step by step. Once we know the list, then we will go through and I'll talk you through exactly what you want to do with them, and then the best way to photograph that, and then the best places to put that on your website. But we will go through that. This is not something you have to do. This is that's my expertise, and I will help you through that. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll just go and do the list then. And he felt so much better, but he was really stressed about it. I didn't realise that's what he'd been trying to do.
But you do, businesses want to, small businesses especially, want to do it all themselves. And sometimes, guys, you've just got to let the professionals do it for you.
Let us
if you don't
help
like
you.
the work, you know what, you haven't got to pay them. It's as simple as that. If you think that the work is not right, or you've not given them the right brief, you've got to look at the brief. You've got to give somebody a brief. You've got to have a brief from them, yeah.
The biggest thing that most people don't do is they don't have a brief or an idea. But again, that's what I do. So the first thing I do is a big part of my service is the initial consultation. That is actually the most important thing. I can have consultations go anywhere from an hour to 4 hours, because it's about laying everything down so that I understand what your perception of what you will be getting. If I don't fully understand that, and you don't fully understand what you want from me, what I deliver to you isn't necessarily going to be what you want, and you won't be satisfied. So it's about managing your expectations.
Yeah.
And so from that, I will write a full brief, and in that brief, not only will it be what I am supposed to do for you, it will actually be what you're supposed to do for me. These are the things I need you to make sure are ready for us to do this shoot. If you don't do these things, I can't deliver what you need. And actually, that is just as important as what I do for you. It's actually it's a relationship. We need to understand each other. And then we'll get to the end, and you'll get exactly what you wanted and needed. And that's where your business is going to go forward.
Food photography.
Yes.
Do you know what? I despair more. Now, restaurants are fine. Half the time, on the website, the food looks fantastic and everything. But it's these fast food restaurants, or those fast food joints where you just go in, get a burger and come away. And I look at some of the sad yellowing pictures on there, and I think, why? Why are you not taking more care in showing the products that you're giving away, not giving away, but giving to people? And I don't understand why.
I can't answer your question. I genuinely can't.
I just think, please, make an effort. You go through all that health and hygiene, and then you've got these shoddy photos
or stock images
of food, or stock images.
A lot of food stuff can be.
So it's not even their food; it's somebody else's. Listen, if there are any fast food outlets out there, take a good look. Walk into your premises as a customer. Look around at the pictures, forget who you are, walk in as a customer and take a good look and go, is this right? Would I walk in and walk back out as a customer? How do I compare to all the other fast food places around?
This is the thing. They don't think it makes any difference.
It's a huge difference.
Because that's what everyone else does, but people forget that to stand out in a crowded market, you have to think outside the box, and you have to do things that will make you stand out.
Yeah, make people want to come back.
But again, it's down to, like you said, people don't necessarily see the value, which again is another problem in a way. But then I do talk to people and they do understand the value. So
they do,
yeah.
But when you discuss it with them, and that's the difference. But as we said, sometimes you can just be so consumed in your own business, is you do forget to step outside and look at what is, it goes back to clarity, what it is, what's my goal here, how does that look from a customer point of view?
It's looking from the other side.
Yeah, it's looking from the other side, how your customers are doing. So if I was to come to you, what would you need from me to be able to get started and understand what it is? What type of things?
So initially, most people who come to me they have an idea of, oh, I need 5 pictures for my website. They have an idea. But from that, the first thing we'll do is talk about, again, my first question, what are you trying to achieve? You need to have a good idea of, do you have a particular thing or vision in mind in terms of the type of photographs? As in, have you looked at your competitors' websites? Are there the sort of things you really like, things you don't like? That's quite important. So thinking about that beforehand will really help. Once we start talking, we'll start delving a little bit more into the details, which tends to bring out more. Again, I feel that's partly my responsibility to try and help you to draw out, your vision and what's in there. And when I start actually sitting down and actually having a brief with you at the consultation to bring out the details for the brief, I will have a lot of ideas on what types of photography will actually help your business.
And other commercial photographers would be doing the same thing to try and get this information?
I would hope so, and I know quite a lot of really amazing photographers, and yes, that's what they do, and it's about their ideas. In some cases, you will need to say, I do need a little bit of help, because they might think you already know what you want, and just make that clear to them that what I'd really like to do is this is what I have initial ideas, but I do need a bit more guidance on what kind of photographs would work well for what we're trying to do. But if you can try and get some clarity beforehand, that really does make a big difference. Even if it's pulling images that you like. Pinterest is a great one.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I will not replicate something that you have seen, because then it's not bespoke to you. But it gives a good idea for what works for your what works for your company and what you've got in your head. It gives me a good idea of from the feel of the colours, and whether you want vibrant colours in your shots, or whether you want things quite plain. I know that sounds like a really strange thing to think about, but actually it can make a difference. If you've got some flowers on your desk, you get one particular feel, and then if you don't have your flowers on your desk, you have another feel. So details are extremely important. But talk that through with your photographer. They will be able to help you really hone and refine what you want to achieve.
Okay, cool. Right, so summary is, get rid of your stock images.
Yes, please.
Please do. If you are going to look for a commercial photographer, make sure that you have some level of clarity about what you want to achieve. Have a brief for them. Look at something written down, some idea of what it is you want, where it's going to go, what you want to use the photographs for. More importantly, whether it's a website or whether it's for marketing purposes, or whether you're doing a big exhibition. There's all sorts of areas where your photography will stand out, especially in exhibitions. If you've got to stand out from a crowd amongst all those call them stalls, but they aren't stalls. All those little areas of exhibition. All those exhibitors. That was the word I was for. Exhibitors. I know it was something like that. to actually stand out. And you know what? Don't be mean on money. You know, if somebody says it's going to cost you this, it's because you're paying for that individual time, but you're also paying for the outcome, what that's going to bring to your business. So it's not just about the photograph, but it's what the words that you put around that photograph, because it's going to be not on its own, it's going to be in some form of content.
Yes, and it's not just, this is the other thing I talk to my clients about, one image isn't just one image on your site. When you're deciding what photographs to take, if I know beforehand that you blog, that you do a lot of social media, that you do lots of different types of marketing, then by the end of it, we've already worked out that actually, if we take a group of photos in this particular area of business, you can blog with that, and then you can put individual images on, various social medias.
Yeah,
you can then use them on the website. You can, create fresh content. There's a lot you can do with a small bank of images that are personalised to your business. It's phenomenal what you can do with them. And it's then, talking to me about what would you like to achieve, and then I can say, well, you could use that image for that, and you could use that image for that, and actually all of a sudden you've got so much scope with a handful of images.
Brilliant. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching or listening in if you're on the podcast. Hemma, thank you very much. It's been, as always, interesting to talk to you. And guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye.